If you're here to train with me, then forget it. If I see you running around with an holstered weapon, you're going to get a very painful weapons safety lesson. You have to earn the right to train here, Initiate.
Understood.
That is what I want to hear.
How can I earn something for myself around here?
You take the next step of the journey and show your commitment. The Horde suffered an attack by mutants about a week ago. They came from the north or northeast, and the survivors returned that way. The men I sent after those survivors haven't returned. If you find out where the mutants are coming from, there will be a fair payment waiting here for you.
I'll kill those mutants.
I'll give you the coordinates I sent my men to. See if you can find out what is bringing those mutants so close to the Horde. Then kill them and return to me. You're dismissed.
How can I train here?
I only train acolytes and above. And even then, I choose who I train. You must want to commit. You must want to understand the art of combat, not just the brutality of it.
Listen, I have the AI chips from the combat mechs.
You have? Excellent. Give them here. Did you find the recovery team?
I'm afraid they're both dead.
Damn it. I said we shouldn't have sent engineers. I better find the error in these chips before we get any more casualties. Thanks for bringing these back. Unless you know how to reset a K4 drone mod, can you leave me in peace?
I found out where the mutants are coming from.
So, make your report.
The mutants are coming from the northeast, as you said. They're concentrated by an ELEX deposit not that far from the Horde. Your men there are dead.
That is what I feared. I will make preparations to send another unit. We have to finish those creatures before they attack again. Ah, I almost forgot. Your payment. Attention! Listen up, men. A new ELEX deposit has been discovered. This is where the mutants are massing to attack the Horde. I want you to leave immediately and secure it. Kill any mutants in all Albs you find. Secure that deposit so we can exploit it ourselves. Understood?
Yes, sir.
You're dismissed.
Unless you have official business here, please move along.
Another thing about the archives. Do you also study the old world?
Of course. If we repeat the mistakes of our ancestors, it could lead to another catastrophe. That is one of the reasons why we only task those with the strongest wills to study. Who knows what corrupting influences these artifacts could have?
Tell me about the other Judicators.
Judicator Johann fell on the battlefield. His is the highest honor. May Kalan have mercy on his soul. Judicator Ulbricht is responsible for the defense of Idan and all operations outside its borders. His is the grave duty of overseeing the war against the Owls. If you have any intelligence that might help him in his duties, you will find him in the upper halls of the cathedral.
Explain the rules of the Horde to me.
Well, Kalan's commandments are simple and fair. They are rules to be found in many places, but to us, they are sacred. Theft, physical assault, murder, the dealing of chems are all punishable offenses. You may face a fine, re-education, or for the worst offenders, execution. And of course, your soul will pay the price. Stay with us, and you will learn of Kalan and his ways. Abide by the words of the great prophet Arvid, and you will open your way to eternity.
Eternity. Check. So, you decide who becomes a cleric and who doesn't.
Correct. Initiates are only allowed to join us when I decide they are worthy. And should they complete the tasks that are given to them, then I would welcome them into our community. And every acolyte that joins us can then begin on the path of enlightenment to gain promotion here.
I'm ready. Give me a task.
As you wish. I could use the help of someone who hasn't had time to establish themselves here. Someone with a more objective viewpoint. We've recently had to deal with the sad deaths of some of the faithful who wandered. Wandered right into the arms of a chem dealer. Every one of us suffers temptation, and all must hope they can prevail against it. But those who deal in misery, who exploit the weakness of others, they are a problem that must be eliminated. Complete this task, and you will open the door to becoming a cleric, a true warrior for Kalan.
About the chem dealers here in the Horde.
Yes?
Do you have any leads on where they may be operating?
Well, I had given Dietrich the task of investigating them, but he doesn't seem to have had much luck so far. You should check what leads he has. To my knowledge, he had slimmed the investigation down to 3 suspects. You should start with them.
Who does Dietrich suspect?
He can explain his methodology to you. But as I recall, it was a simple process of rejecting anyone who lacked the requisite access and opportunity. You should speak with the guards who were on duty at the time. Try and get that information as a written report. Anecdote and memory are best not relied on in these cases.
Where can I find these guards?
Well, there's Xander. He was on duty at the main gate on the night in question. Then there is the mine guard and the factory guard. Have you been to the mine? If not, you will find it to the west, below the cathedral. The factory guards patrol to the north, by the mech production facilities.
What can I help you with?
I want to ask you some questions about the chem trade here.
How do you know about that?
Adjudicator Reinhold sent me. I'm supposed to have a look at your reports from the time of the crime.
Adjudicator Reinhold sent you to look into this. Oh well, I suppose he knows what he's doing. Here's my report on the suspects. That's all I know.
What is it you want?
I need to ask you some questions about the chem dealing.
So, Reinhold's brought in some more help. I've already written the report as ordered, but remind me, who are the chief suspects?
Siegfried, Hagen, and Oswald.
That's exactly who I wrote up in my report. All that I know is there. Maybe it will help.
Thanks. What do you know about the chem dealing here in the Horde?
Well, take a look at this. Reinhold has sent you to investigate, has he? Well, that works well for both of us. Remember? You promised to take care of some business for me. You owe me a favor. Well, I'm calling that in. I want you to tell Reinhold that Siegfried is the chem dealer.
Why Siegfried of all people?
He's a suspect, isn't he? So there you are. He's a cagey guy. Doesn't share his business. He needs re-education. So you can report back that it's him. Job done. Turning him in will help you and help me too. Trust me, the Horde doesn't need traders selling unregulated goods. So I want you to report back that this trader, Siegfried, is the dealer. Say he's guilty. Job done. And I'll know you've done the Horde a favor.
And what if I don't do that?
I don't think you'll make that choice. That wouldn't be helpful for anyone. But the decision is up to you. If I find out that you accused Siegfried, then I will be satisfied. If I find out you didn't, well, I'm sure we don't need to consider that possibility. Here's the report I've compiled. This is as far as I got with my personal investigation. I think reading that will show you the wisdom of simply reporting Siegfried now. Good luck.
About the chem dealers here in the Horde.
Yes?
I think I know who the chem dealer is.
Well, please tell me who you think is responsible.
I think it was Oswald.
Oswald acts like a pious, Kalan-fearing person, but there is something strange about him. Maybe this explains his behavior. Thank you for your work. I will investigate this further. If he is really the suspect, then he will receive a just punishment, and you shall receive the promised reward when that happens.
Tell me more about the clerics.
What would you like to know?
Tell me how promotion works within the Horde.
People who are new to our ranks are welcomed as an acolyte. Acolytes can learn the art of suggestion, train and learn the fundamentals of our way of life. The same applies for our legates and paladins. Each new rank brings new advantages, obligations, and privileges such as equipment.
So, you told Reinhold who you suspect is dealing chems?
Yes.
And you didn't tell him it was Siegfried? I will tell all my trading friends to cease trading with you. Sorry about that, but a man has to keep his reputation.
How do I persuade the merchants here to start trading with me again?
That all depends what you're prepared to do for it. I mean, your first step could be to report me to Reinhold, but I suspect you wouldn't get very far with that. I could ask you to help me with something, but you don't seem to keep such arrangements. So, well, what else can we think of?
How about this?
Ah, I see we're starting to speak the same language. Yes, this will do nicely. Consider us square.
You didn't come here to pray, did you? I can spot the devout. And you don't look like you're here to ask for divine assistance, am I right?
You're right. I don't need assistance.
Ha! I knew it! You know, there is a reason why I wanted to talk to you. For all the thirst for knowledge in this place, people can be a little focused. They want logic, straight answers. They forbid anyone from looking deeper into things. And that's crazy. I mean, knowledge is wisdom. Wisdom brings you closer to Kalan. So what's wrong with getting some answers? Which brings me to you. I'm betting you have answers, and I'm betting you're the curious type.
I don't want any trouble.
Who's talking about trouble? It's a trivial matter, really. But then I guess that's why I keep getting in trouble. So, are you going to help me?
Teach me something.
Yeah?
Tell me your problem.
Have you ever heard of the prophet Arvid?
Yes.
I am surprised, but you probably only know the basics. But there's something about Arvid, something about those early works that doesn't make sense. And I can't work out why. But will they let me in the archives to study his writings? No. I sneaked in, they threw me out. I was lucky to avoid re-education. Concentrate on what's right here, right now, they told me. It is only possible to change the future if you draw the correct conclusions from the past, they said.
So you need access to the archives?
No. Well, yeah, that would be great, but for now, I just need a book. All that I want is a copy of Arvid's teachings. There has to be a written copy, or a recorded copy somewhere. It's just not available to us out here. And that bugs me. So, do you think you can get into the archives and get it for me?
So, why don't you ask if you can work in the archives?
You think I haven't thought of that? I'm barred. Punishment for breaking in. And I've no idea when they'll allow me back. I would like to give you the following, in any case, before you are on your way. I am certain that I can get something from the recordings that will be of use to all of us. Then, maybe, I'll finally understand what our purpose is.
What can you tell me about the archives?
It's a store of knowledge from before the comet hit, and it is where all information found in the rest of the world is brought. Our archivists are attempting to glean all sorts of information from the scraps of data we were able to retrieve from outside the Horde. The work is very time-intensive, so the archivists don't like it at all when people interrupt their work. So, they will have you thrown out if you manage to get into the archives without authorization. What are you doing here?
Uh-huh. No. I can't believe that.
Oh, why is the food so bad?
Ignadon's rocky soil isn't the best for growing things. So, we have to supplement with manufactured substitutes. Nutritionally balanced, designed for body, and a balanced metabolism. They sort of forgot the flavor.
I can give you some food for my supplies.
I take that offer of help. But you're right. Maybe supplementing our supplies is a good idea. I know some people on the outside who haven't joined the faction. They could trade with us. Yeah, that would help them and us.
Why haven't you started trading already?
Because I want this done diplomatically. To organize something we can keep going in the future. That means finding someone who Do you think that's you?
I can negotiate the food supplies for you.
This will take tact. I don't want guns waved around. There's to be no bloodshed. But if you really want to make a difference and help us start working together, then I'm prepared to trust you. They put together survival packs with fresh meat in them. They're hunters, you see. If you could get me 20 of those packs, anything we can get to supplement what the foraging units bring in has to be a help. So talk to them and see if you can make it an ongoing arrangement.